Hi guys, this is Marcy Fiorillo and this is your help video for Humanities 1002, Week 4, Assignment 2. So as you know from the home page, you can access the content for the week a couple of different ways. You can click on the widget here, or you can go to the top menu and click on Content. Scroll down on the left side here and make sure you have Week 4 selected. Now, as with any week, you're going to start off with your reading assignment, which can be found under the syllabus there. So start with your book after you've read all of the chapters for the week. Then you can start to work your way down through the online summary lectures and take the knowledge check quiz. And of course, you've posted to your discussion your initial post. And now you're ready to work on the Week 4 project. The directions are right here. I've actually included a Word document that's going to help you with this assignment, so let's switch over to that right now. So this week we are studying some artworks that address the theme of revolution or perhaps social change. And you're going to take 5 artworks and discuss how this theme of revolution or social change is discussed in each. So the artworks are given to you here. I've indicated the figure number and the page number that you can find them on in your text. I've also linked you to a video on Khan Academy about either the style or this artwork specifically that you can watch after you've read the reading assignment. So this is not meant to replace the reading assignment, it's meant to supplement. So make sure you do reading your text first and you are referencing it in your project here. So the directions ask for 5 to 7 well-developed paragraph essay where you address the following questions in regard to the 5 artworks above. Now, if you notice, there's 5 artworks and you're asked to write 5 paragraphs. I would approach this by having a paragraph for each artwork and then addressing each of the 4 questions to that artwork in that paragraph. You can also do it the other way and organize it around the questions. What you want to do is make sure you are addressing the questions for each of the artworks though. So whether you do that organized by the artwork or organized by the question, it does not matter to me as long as you're thoroughly addressing the topic prompt. Okay, so the first question asks you, how does the painting reflect or inspire social change or revolution? What was the social or revolutionary context of the painting? So to answer that, first of all, you have to determine what is the subject matter of the painting. So discuss the subject matter and how it expresses a view, whether it's a revolutionary idea or perhaps social commentary. And discuss whether it's an actual event or perhaps it's a symbolic event of something else. And give a little bit of context. Now in question 2, it asks you to give a lot of context, so you can kind of almost combine these two and just thoroughly address the context for the artwork. What's going on? What culture is it, first of all? What time period are we talking about? What war or social change is the artist trying to comment on? So be specific and give a thorough foundation of context, cultural context for the artwork and what the topic of it was. So for example, in Goya's 3rd of May, that is referring to a specific date in a specific war in a specific country. So you want to address all of those things and kind of give the background. Who is the painting of? Who is the person with his arms raised? Who are the soldiers? And what is Goya's take on the specific event? Okay, so 1 and 2 can almost be kind of combined there because you're just talking about the context. Just be sure to thoroughly talk about the subject matter and the cultural context. Now number 3, we're going to start talking about the style and the visual characteristics of the painting. So we are discussing several styles this week. We're reading about neoclassicism, romanticism, and realism. So first of all, you wanted to define which style your artwork is, and then discuss the visual characteristics of that style. For example, Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People is a romantic artwork, and romantic artworks use expressive brushwork. They're very emotional. They usually have bold colors. So you would want to discuss those styles and then specifically indicate where in the painting you see those style characteristics. Again, the whole purpose of every assignment in here is demonstrate what you've learned this week. So you want to reference your text and use the vocabulary and the concepts that you learned about in the text in regard to these specific paintings. Okay. And then lastly, you want to kind of bring it to a contemporary time period. How would this painting be received today? What would an audience think about it? Are these still topics that are relevant? Maybe it's not the specific war that they're talking about, but is there conflict in which an audience today might find meaning in this painting that relates to their own life? For example, in the marriage contract, that is talking about social issues regarding women and the role of women and the rights of women. Is this still something we are talking about today? The Stonebreakers is the plight of the poor. Can we relate this to our own world? So you want to kind of bring it into our own context and say, what is the impact on an audience today from this painting? Is that idea, that big idea, maybe not the specific idea, but the bigger idea, is that still relevant in our own culture? Okay, so your essay should be at least 5 paragraphs, possibly more, depending on how you organize your efforts here. But just make sure that you've answered all 4 questions in regard to the 5 paintings. And if you have any questions, be sure and let me know. I can't help you if you don't ask, so be sure to reach out and I can give you more examples, or I'm happy to pre-read any assignments. Thanks a lot.